Namaste, Namaste, my beloved sangha in India. I want you to know that I am very much with you. I've been following the news of what's going on in India right now as far as the pandemic is concerned. And I'm deeply touched, even though I know this is God's Leela. I'm deeply moved, and I am with you in this very challenging times, especially at the news more locally to us, that many people that we know are being affected by what's going on. Our families are affected. Some sangha members also are affected. Some have passed away. And it brings a deep sense of spiritual solidarity in the heart with all of you. I am here. I am here. We have not changed. And I want you to know that my work with you to continue to encourage you, no matter what, because life will bring these things and show that nothing is so predictable in terms of this manifest existence in the manifest world. And to use this opportunity, as severe as it clearly has been and is for many. But you who are familiar with my guidance and the guidance of many great masters at times like this, it is your opportunity now to turn your attention not towards the world and the projections of the ego mind, the fear, and all of this is going on. Because nothing happens contrary to the will of God, and which is always in its own way perfect. But I want you to use this time as an opportunity to recognize that within you which is unchanging, silent, still, unmoving, uncreated, imperishable, and to realize this beyond a conceptual understanding, but to be verified through your direct experience, strongly encouraged and supported by your satsang. I cannot give you a different message than this, my dear ones, because this is at the very heart. Satsang is not here for good times, pleasurable times. It's not here merely to celebrate life in this way, but to reveal the true life. And so I want you to, as you are well capable of, even in the face of such strong pulsations of the mind in its play in the world. And life has always been unpredictable, full of diversity and changes and the dance of opposites, the play of wonderful things and grievous things. They alternate in this world. But the self remains as it has always been. Perfect, complete, true, real, and unchangingly the source of your very existence. And when I speak like this, it is not my philosophy. It is not my belief, but a proven fact, verified in the heart, and now presented to you over and over again, that no matter what, let this moment not be the mind's victory or the mind's take, but your transcending understanding. And I trust and know that you have all that it takes to verify, not to create, the truth of your fundamental nature. And as I said, and I will repeat, it is not a philosophy. It is not a belief. No, deeper than this. And yet at the same time, simpler, simplest, because it is natural and ever present. I don't merely want to impart to you a teaching, philosophical or spiritual, but a way that is without distance, which requires a change of focus. It has never been different, that your life is not merely the outcome of conditioning based upon the belief you are the body. But true life is in discovering that in the midst of the changeful world of phenomenality, in the heart and underlying all that you experience, beautiful or ugly, is the constant self, the Brahman self, the unchanging, the supreme reality self. These may sound big words, but actually the truth of them is very, very natural. It is the most natural and simple, because it doesn't require that you travel somewhere or that you change from your fundamental nature, but that you awaken to that. And so today I stand with you and I embrace you completely in my heart and want you to know that I am with you. And this is a global crisis. And to that extent, it puts us on common ground, that we each can understand. No time in the world that we know has it been so. It's an unprecedented time when human beings are brought to a common experience. But you, my sangha, you have the advantage, because you have been prepared for moments like this and beyond, to wake up to your transcendental nature. And it's been presented to you in a way that is not like a hill to climb, but a very natural and accessible realization. Please continue, even at times like this, and perhaps even more so, to use the stress of these situations that we hear through the news and that we also see and experience through our network of family and sangha and friends, to use your invitation to freedom. I will continue to send the most recent of my guidances, and please follow them. Follow them as though your very existence depends upon them. And by existence, I don't mean just your physical and biological existence, but your realization of the supreme truth that you already are, and that this life is an opportunity only to recognize and to stabilize your attention away from the pull of the world and just inside your hearts. So please hear me. My words are not new. These pointers and teachings have been in the world of mankind's kingdom for a very, very long time. all that is required is to follow them, to take them to heart, and to recognize what they are pointing to and what is being revealed in your heart when you follow with earnestness. So I continue to walk alongside you. Each one, employ your meditations, the guidances I give you. And just before I close, I want to share something with you. All the knowledge in the world, all the experience of the world and experiences gained through the mind, spiritual and otherwise, they are not sufficient. At best, the teachings, wide, diverse, and poignant as they are, is only creating an orientation in your mind to make it ready for the darshan of true seeing. You must take from this that which most impact upon your heart, which you sense, yes, 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 this, I can use this. This is the window into my own self. All the diverse teachings that you have listened to, you've been exposed to, must condense into a simple directing. Because to find the truth does not require all fingers to be pointing, but one. And that pointing is not outward, it's always here. It is always here. So, I want to give you two simple guidances. One, because I know that you have been following satsang. If you imagine or can look in front of you is a lake, and of course, on any expanse of water, there'll be waves, the shimmering of water like this. Look, supposing there's a piece, an object floating in the water, let's say a piece of cork or something like this, a piece of wood floating on the water, and there's a string tied to this object that's floating, and beneath the surface is connecting at the other end a stone. Now, what I mean by this, the lake and its waves represent the dynamic field of consciousness, the world of names and forms and experiencing, coming and going. The cork floating on the water represents your being, which includes your mind and sense of self. They're under the water floating. The sense of the person. The string is your attachments, all your attachments. And the stone represents your being, your real being. Guru's grace, God's grace, has come under the water and it's cut the string. Cut the string. Now the stone, which is your being, can float down, can fall down to the very bottom of the ocean, where it is quiet and back to its natural state. Make use of this simple metaphor. And I'll leave you with one more. Say if you're standing in a crowd of beings and the mind is pulsating with all that's happening in the world, and your person and the future and past and all the pressures of life is in this place where you're standing, and many people are like this. They're in turmoil, much like how it might appear to you in this very moment, these days in India at the moment. And you will pass through them. But if you're standing in this place, in this state, and let's imagine that 8 meters away, you turn and look, And there's a group of all the great masters. Sri Ramana Maharishi, Sri Punjaji, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, Sri Yogiram Surat Kumar, Neem Karoli Baba, Lord Ram, Lord Christ, Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva. They're all standing here, looking at you. And you have a choice now to stay where you are and to let your mind struggle in trying to solve your present crisis according to your identity, or to walk over and join the group of sages. And there's a distance, and this distance represents a choice you must make, a choice to be there. Because when you have chosen to be in the company of the sages and the great masters, the grace of their presence, that will permeate your being. And so thereafter, wherever you go, they're with you. Their power is with you, because who you are in your heart invites them and releases their presence and power and their inspiration in your heart. What will you do? What choice will you make? So this I leave with you today. Just these words. Remember, this body is a limited body. It is a mortal body. But the immortal self, which is your source and true being, lives in it, in the temporary body. But it is timeless. And I would say the highest opportunity in the human kingdom is to be alive, awake to your true nature as the unchanging awareness. You are able to hear this because what I'm saying to you is not a fantasy for you. Many of you recognize this at some level, but it must go beyond being another teaching. It must become a reflection of what you truly are, even now. And you have always been, we have always been the self. But life is to awaken from the dream, the limited dream of personhood, into the reality of your true nature. To be free above the clouds, the shifting clouds of the mind. And this is not a fantasy. It is not a fantasy. It's the very miracle of existence that a human being wakes up to that which is never sleeping, ever pure and true, which itself alone exists. So, my beloved ones, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. And in my heart, I feel as though my whole being dips inside you, in your being, and pull out all sickness and all fear out of you. Pull them out, pull it out. But where it's still manifesting in you, use this, the intensity of the sense of a crisis, because sometimes we need moments like this to turn within. Life is not about just enjoy superficially, because all these enjoyments are momentary and passing. Rather, use that which sometimes bring pain to turn within and to find your source. And I'm so happy to have the opportunity and the privilege to share these pointings with you that reveal that the God self, the true self, is not at some distance away from you on big journeys to travel, and the mind tell you, oh, I don't think I'm good enough, I'm not ready, and so on. But it is right here, behind the facade of personhood and this changeful world. It is right here, distanceless and uncreated, imperishable. Find it. And may the grace of all masters and the grace of God be realized in you to be your ever-present support and your truest discovery. Bless you, bless you, bless you. All my love to you. Full grace. Thank you.